Hello everyone, today I wanted to talk about moving in the UK, so stay tuned if that could be something that could help you. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ison, I'm 21 years old, I'm living in Stirling and studying here. And I'm still pretty dead because I had an internship in London. I moved out of my flat in London. I moved back to Stirling. I moved at the same day that I came back from London, from my old flat in Stirling to my new flat in Stirling. And it was all very intense, and I'm still so dead. I'm very dead. I feel like I need a sleeping beauty kind of sleep to get the rest that I need, but what can you do? Life moves on. And I just wanted to gather some tips and tricks that I've learned on the way through hardships that could help some newcomer people to move into private accommodation in the UK, especially in Scotland, because it can be a hassle, especially as an international student. I've done something similar in the past, but it wasn't a step-to-step guide, and I think that could be very helpful. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you have to do is knowing your filters that you can put on all of the websites. There's Rightmove, there's Zoopla, there's there's S1 Homes, if I'm not mistaken, and all of those websites help you to find flats, but you have to know your filters. So your budget, how many bedrooms do you need, where do you want to live, is outside the town okay for you, or do you need more inside town, and all of that. So, is it furnished or is it not furnished? So after you have all of that, you can have alarms on all the time, so you don't have to Google it every time. You just get an alarm every time there's a new flat. And especially in times of COVID, it can be hard to find a new flat, so you should definitely have alarms on. And in the moment that they have the new flat, you should try to contact them. They will probably put on new flats on Fridays, and they close on Fridays, and many agencies don't work over the weekend, so you should know that, and maybe just try, if you see a flat on Friday, just try to contact them ASAP or on Monday as soon as possible. If you call people, you will get more results than emailing them because everyone is busy. Calling will always give you quicker results. So the more you call, the more persistent you are as well, the easier you will get the flat. So don't be hesitant to be a bother. I remember calling agencies 2 or 3 times a day, so it's all fine. Also in the UK, a lot of things work through agencies. We have a private landlord right now. We found it through a website. But a lot of flats around Stirling and around the UK are owned by agencies, and then you work through them. Once you are in contact with an agency or with a landlord, you will probably and hopefully get a viewing. You should be open about needing an online viewing if that is the case for you. I needed one. My flatmate was in Stirling at that time, so I just participated through FaceTime, and it worked very well. But most of the people also offer fully online viewings, and that is completely fine, so don't hesitate to ask. And you should also ask about no-goes from the get-go. Some people don't want students, some people don't want older students because they will leave earlier, some people don't want international students because they leave over summer. Just try to gather some things that will really work for you and really work in your favor. So if you're an international student, just be like, yeah, I will pay over the summer, we're planning to stay here and all of that. just try to think from the perspective of a person that wants to earn money, and try to talk in a persuasive way, I would say, and also ask what they want and what their no-goes are, so you can just be open about it. Then the hard part, you go through referencing. With agencies, you give all of your bank details, and usually you also have to show a UK guarantor. If you're an international student, be prepared to pay months up front, and be prepared to negotiate as well. Just try to talk to them and be like, if they ask for 6 months up front, try to negotiate it down and try to be open about your situation. But if you have to pay, be also aware of the situation that you might have to pay, and just know your own no-goes and know what you can pay and what you cannot. But I'm just being very open here. It's very hard to find a flat in COVID times, in Stirling at least. So yeah, we had a lot of luck with our landlord, but with the last agency we had to pay 3 months up front plus deposit. So just to keep that in mind. I know people that have paid 6 months up front plus deposit, which is a bunch of money, I know, but what can you do? Oh, also some of my friends have been able to use international guarantors instead of UK guarantors. So just because an agency says, no, we don't take this, we only accept this, try to call another day. Sometimes they just need a coffee, you know, like don't give up from the get-go. And always ask when you're going to a viewing or when you're planning a viewing if other people have already viewed the property. Knowing if you have competition and how much competition you have is pretty important, so you know if you have to act quickly. Also, with the first flat that you see, don't just assume that it's yours, because chances are a lot of people are looking for flats at the moment. So just keep your hopes up, obviously, but be realistic as well. The fourth step would be to figure out logistics and move-in date. Just figure out what to do with the moving in, how you want to move in. Do you want to call up people? Do you want to use a bunch of boxes and then call a cab? Cab agencies do want another fee for moving, so talking to them beforehand would be important. Then, do you need friends? How many friends do you need? All of that is quite important and can save you a lot of hassle. By the way, chances are you probably own more things than you think, so just be prepared to carry a lot of stuff. Fifth thing would be order Wi-Fi as soon as possible. Most of the time you have to wait for Wi-Fi about 2 weeks. We already had a router, thankfully, so I'm having Wi-Fi from the 19th. But still, it can be a lot, especially if you didn't have Wi-Fi before or your own Wi-Fi before. Yeah, just be aware of that. Our Wi-Fi is Now TV, and I think it's the best offer yet that I've seen. We will have to change it soon because the offer is just for 1 year, but you only pay £18 a month, which is, I think, the cheapest Wi-Fi that I've seen so far in Stirling. Just giving a heads up. Then after you move in, you usually get a welcome pack from the electricity and gas department that has usually provided this flat. But I would say just try to get ahead of things, try to contact them before, and just try to figure out electricity on your own, because sometimes you wait for the welcome pack quite a long time. I think we waited at least a month in the last property, so you can also just call them and try to set up a new account. It's not that complicated, and in general providers are very slow, So the quicker you get it done, the better, because it will probably take a few days in either way. Also, be aware if the flat has electricity and gas, or only electricity or only gas, because all of those three options exist. Seventh thing, try to clean, try to buy the things that you still need. We still have some things left that we have to buy. Decorate the flat like you wanted. Don't be too shy about decoration, I would say, because obviously as a student you don't want to damage anything, but at the same time this is your home and you should treat it like your home, and it's very important for your mental health to have some kind of safe space. So the better and the nicer you decorate, the better for you. So do put some thought in it, I would say. Take it slow, be positive about things even if they don't work out from the get-go, and don't be too anxious about it. I know if you're young and if you haven't done this before, it can be quite a lot, but you'll get there. You'll always get there at the end. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, let me know. And yeah, see you in the next one.